Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the second series of the day, another best of two here in the Bucharest Minor Qualifiers OG versus the final tribe, which is perhaps the best matchup in this group. Of course, it's only three teams, so it's do with that what you will. But I just certainly expect both of these teams to make it through to the next phase. The question is just in what place. You have this is a 2-0 for OG, then the undisputed as the first place coming out of this group stage, final tribe. They would still have to win against Helsinki Reds in the next series, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, my name is dragondrop, still joined by Neph. So, what are your expectations for this game?
Well, I saw some pretty good gameplay out of OG the last two games. Sure, Helsinki Reds considered the underdogs there, but they played pretty solid. LTW showed to be a pretty good replacement for Pycat. So I'm interested in seeing how OG does next game. My money is on them prior to the draft starting, and they ended up taking a draw, and they got a 17-minute victory against Helsinki Reds in Game 1 of the last series we were doing. So,
well, not wasting any time though. Final tribe with the Sand King Grimstroke combo. So this is pretty damn powerful. Even though I think it's been nerfed a little bit with the Inkswell, the stun for the Grimstroke. Yeah. From 160 damage at level 1 or max damage to 100. So it's certainly a very welcome, very necessary nerf, but it still seems to be very powerful. Remaining. Like Sand King burst striking in, and with that instant follow-up, this instant follow-up stun already charging up on the Inkswell. So we'll see whether they can use that together in the offlane, or whether they have something else planned.
Yeah, that's a pretty powerful combination, and also can guarantee that you get epicenter off as the game progresses. I'm glad that stupid red mask Bob Ross got nerfed, though, if you ask me. But OG going with Drow Ranger Tusk. We saw the power of Tusk with his tag team last game and coupled with the Drow Ranger. You put a ranged hero in that lane, the extra attack speed means you get a lot out of the tag team, doing extra, even at level 1, 25 extra physical damage along with the slow on each hit on a 15-second cooldown. That spell very much needs a nerf.
Yeah, so, it certainly does.
The fact that you can get that off on somebody twice when you're chasing them down is insane. I mean, I think that's so much damage in the early game.
Well, we'll see what hero they want to combat it up with. There's still the Beastmaster in the pool if they want to go for this melee combo. Oracle has been banned by the final tribe, so I assume they've watched the games earlier where that Oracle also came in big in those particular lanes. Meepo and Arc Warden bans OG. They don't want to be cheesed by the looks of it.
Yep. I mean, you got to... Meepo, I think, goes pretty well with the Sand King and the Grimstroke. Natural Blink Dagger carrier on the Meepo. So, of course, it goes pretty well with that Inkswell, getting that stun off into the enemies, followed by Doggy piling all those Meepos onto somebody. It's a pretty deadly combination. But, yeah, they don't want to be cheesed. They have decent save right now as well in the form of Tusk from that hard stun combination, Sand King, Burrow Strike, and the Grimstroke Inkswell. So they have decent tools to deal with them so far, but we'll see what happens as the game progresses. I like the Oracle ban now. We talked about Oracle's really low base attack time, lowest in the game, along with the Drow Ranger. I think, along with the Dark Willow, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Two-word hero, starts with a D.
There's the Lich. That's a 4-letter hero starting with an L. If you're looking for clues, if you have that in your crossword, then now you know what to put in. And it's very powerful. It's like this Frost Shield, similar to the tag team in some ways, but of course a lot more defensive. And can also work very nicely together with the Sand King if you really think about it. So there's some lane flexibility without really sacrificing a lot of power.
Mm-hmm. So what they're going to do is they're just going to throw Inkswell and Frost Shield onto the Sand King and have them burrow strike into the enemies. And they're stunned and they're slow and they're just having a real bad time.
Yep. That's the general idea anyway. So, OG, do you want to look for another saving hero? I mean, there's not too many left. So Dazzle has been banned out in first phase, Oracle taken away in the second. So is there anything else beside the task that you can pick up to kind of screen for Drow Ranger to make sure that you can kind of counterplay these kind of things?
Yeah, I still don't hate Beastmaster here. So they could take that. They want to be careful here with somebody who's good against Grimstroke and his one of the things about Grimstroke is his silence isn't dispellable. So if you were to take something like a Tide Hunter, normally you have the Kraken shell to fall back on, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't get to pop your Kraken shell when that bug is on you, because until you melee that thing off of yourself, you're not getting off a Ravage. So a lot of things that would be pretty good against heroes with a silencer of a similar kit to Grimstroke aren't that great with him, just because of how his mechanics work. And you have to be a little bit careful in the heroes that pick against Grimstroke, because that leash mechanic change. Snowball is one of the abilities that was affected by that. You're not able to get that snowball off when you're under the effects of Grimstroke's ultimate.
Yep.
And they take Earth Spirit.
That is a bit more interesting because, of course, earlier we've seen Jerax playing the Tusk to great effects, but Earth Spirit is also one of the go-to Jerax heroes, so it looks like we have a bit of a role swap, or you just play 2-4 positions.
Yeah, I mean, you're either an Earth Spirit player or you're not, right?
I guess, yeah.
There's not really middle ground with this guy, so they'll probably give that one to Jerax. I imagine they'll throw Tusk probably on No Tail or something like that. I'm interested in seeing what he does this.
Yeah, you still have a bit of defensive utility with the Snowball, and if you're in the right position, I imagine you can use that to some effect up against the Sanking Grimstroke combo. If you manage to dodge out the stun combination, and all of a sudden they're the ones who are in a bit of trouble.
Yep, exactly. Some people have argued this new Earth Spirit that the stun on a 4-second cooldown is very powerful. Before he used to be this kind of team fight god, being able to silence out a whole team, stun them out, tons of damage with Magnetize. But now his role's changed a little bit ever since they changed his stun around. He's now seen as more of a ganker. Everyone was talking about that as the patch hit.
Yeah, you can only stun one person now, right? Just the one that you roll on, that you connect on, and then everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping that it would work the same way his role used to work on targets that were magnetized, but that's not the case. I was thinking, oh yeah, it would be super sweet if I could stun everybody at once who was under the effect of magnetized, but no. You only stun the guy that you roll into.
Alright, we'll see how they can make use of that. I mean, it's certainly going to make it a little bit easier in the early game. If you roll in, you don't have to... You can't really fuck up the stun afterwards, even if you connect with the roll. So in that sense, it makes it a little bit easier, a little bit more reliable, I guess. If you hit the roll in the first place, that's a different story altogether. But again, it is Jerax we're talking about most likely, so I think it's a given that C should be pretty good in that hero. Like, you don't unlearn your Earth Spirit, really.
10 seconds remaining.
It has changed a little bit. You didn't necessarily need to land the roll before. Now it's a lot more important, though. So we'll see. I'm interested in seeing how Jerax plays this. After all, he is renowned worldwide for his Earth Spirit play. So, Jerax, show me how it's done. And then Kunka's picked up. They saw a lot of success with that last game on Thompson. He got crazy farmed last game, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did.
He's sitting at like
that was with the Magnus on the team though. So this time around, you don't have this extra cleave to help you out. So maybe a little bit of limited damage potential, but you're up against Phantom Lancer as well. So I think any sort of cleave plus this crazy team fight that you have from this hero will certainly come in handy if you want to try and go for some sort of early timings again. Just trying to grab control of the map, which is certainly advised because you don't want to let a Phantom Lancer free farm for all that long, or else you just end up in this situation where, hey, all of a sudden we're 30, 40 minutes in, Phantom Lancer has a heart, a few extra items, and we can't kill him anymore, so... It's a bit problematic, so especially with the draw range, unless you want to go for this Lightning Lord build with Axe and Maelstrom, which is kind of hard to get going in the first place.
10 seconds remaining.
That is true. I wouldn't say that they'd be going for that sort of build this game, though. Kunka to deal with the Phantom Lancer is a pretty good answer to that one there. He showed that he's able to play Kunka to great effect last game. That's interesting because everyone claimed Thompson is a little bit of a... I'm not going to say one-trick pony, but like three-trick pony.
That guy's a freaking prodigy, man.
The guy's a freaking prodigy, but he's expanded his hero pool a little bit. I think this is probably under the guidance of some of these people on OG. Having a player/coach on your team like Seb is probably a great thing. No Tails, one of the most diverse players in the game.
Yeah.
So having him kind of watch over you as you're starting to learn more things probably helped a great deal. TA and Axe getting banned out next phase. Like that. Ooh. All right, this has been a long time since we haven't seen this hero, hasn't it?
Not too long. I've seen a combo with the Spur Break a couple of times, but
Of course you have.
yeah.
That thing's ridiculous. He ends up charging you at 2,000 movement speed. You don't even have time to react to that
Yeah.
garbage.
10 seconds remaining.
It's so funny because the Surge unlocks your movement
5
speed,
seconds remaining.
and they changed charge around a little bit, though, haven't they? Or like a lot of the movement speed stuff, so it's not percentage based anymore on a lot of these things. Darkseer still adds 90% though from the Surge, I think.
Yes.
So I'm not sure how the numbers work out after that most recent patch, but it's a joy to behold. But in this game we don't have that, but we do have the Earth Spirits, so we can just roll in with the Iron Shell on top. All of a sudden you actually have damage output on this hero, which you never really had in these early levels.
That's gonna be some pretty funny shit though. Just the Spirit Breaker coming out of nowhere, like faster than you can react. Just yelled "Nani!"
It's always amazing, but again, not
And
this
then,
time. Not this time.
Right. Chessie, getting that tiny last though. I'm interested in seeing how this Darkseer is played. It's probably going to pair it up with Jirax, like you were saying. He rolls in with that Ion Shell on him, then continues to chase him down with that
10
Surge,
seconds
which
remaining.
again unlocks your movement speed and makes you unslowable. I really like the change to Surge.
Yeah, it seems a lot more powerful now than just a flat movement speed increase that it was before. I mean, a lot of the time it has the same effects, I think, except a little bit more amplified and a lot more reliable, I guess.
Yep.
Especially since it unlocks this movement speed, right? So you can go above and beyond the max, which is
Go even further beyond.
yeah, to infinity and beyond, as it were.
No, it was a Dragon Ball
Okay.
reference, Dragon Drop, not a Toy Story reference.
Can you
come
go over 9,000?
on. See, that was just out of place.
I'm trying,
gotta get
ENF.
you-
I'm trying.
I gotta get you into anime.
Oh god, it's never gonna happen. You tried a couple of times already, remember? Birmingham and Hamburg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get you
that's-
eventually.
That's beside the point. Speaking
Would
of
have
anime,
converted you if you stayed at my place for TI.
Yeah, I dodged a bullet there, yeah, that's for sure. Anyway, we are here getting into the second series of the day, OG. Of course, already won 2-0 up against Helsinki Reds. Final trial, this is the first game. One of those three teams will be eliminated after this group stage. Very short, very quick, very snappy. Because afterwards, even later today, there's already best of 3 for the playoff stages. So we're gonna get through these qualifiers ASAP. Alright, so how are these lanes looking? I'm trying to ignore all of these laughs, but it's getting very hard.
They're doing this on purpose.
Of course they are.
And we deal with them from both teams as well. Alright, so Tusk gets himself a mango early on, so he's got a little snack for later, you know?
Yep.
To keep yourself nice and nourished as the
Juicy,
game
fresh
progresses.
member,
So it's going to be Tiny in the mid lane against on Chessie against Thompson. I think Tiny is going to come head and
30
shoulders above this
seconds to
Kunkka.
battle.
I mean, the cleave now deals a lot more damage to Tiny because he's a hero that didn't have any armor before. So having that cleave that went through armor didn't really matter for Tiny, but now you have that 165% damage. That's going to hurt a lot.
Yep.
On a 0 armor hero, somebody who doesn't get any agility as the laning stage goes on. So he's got 0% physical damage reduction. He's taking 65% more damage than he used to against a Kunkka in the lane.
Begins.
Some quick maths right there. So looking forward to see more of that. But yeah, for now, there's some laning shenanigans going on. Jarrett will find Jonas for fun. With the stun, couple of right clicks. And are they gonna match this? I mean, right now Zep, he should be fine up against Sanking, right? Should be farming lane either way.
Sandcake's not really going to be able to approach this lane, especially. Is stunning him up as much as possible. I guess trying to slow him down from getting to the lane in time.
He's doing
This
so much
is
free
great, so-
damage, right? Just with the Orb Venom too, forcing out some regen immediately. What does that mean for the bottom lane? Oh god, no, it's actually been gone on. There it is, the Ingswell and Grimstroke himself, even without the tanking. Still leads to the first blood. Frost grabbing that for himself. Now there's the lane rotations. At least from Jarex here. A little bit too late to actually help out. But I'm not sure he can actually do anything but Hanskin either.
No, and he's got to get back right away. He's going to take way too much harass damage here. So, but as he goes forward, he still had that Ion Shell on him. You can't really see it due to the color scheming on Earth Spirit.
He's gonna roll will miss Hanskin. Looking for the Ingswell here with the stick charge. Actually stays alive long enough. Slowed down by LTW here, but there's gonna lose another hero first. Hanskin's still alive. Even with ILTW coming in, it's gonna take a lot of damage going back to lane. If not,
he's
gonna die here. Frost with another lance. Slows him down enough for Era to finish him. This is a bit of a tactical tumble right there once again.
Yeah, you start off so strong that other series. You're not up against Helsinki Reds anymore. You're up against, what was it he called? Princes of the North?
Oh yeah, I mean...
The Princes of the North.
Yeah, Alliance are the Kings of the North. I mean, they beat Final Tribe 2-0, knocking them out of the Chongqing Major Qualifiers. So, Alliance are the Kings and these are the Princes, that's for sure.
Okay.
Chessie. Tossing Thompson back under the tower does a lot of damage. And there's a self available still, so it should be fine. There's also Region Rune, by the way, so it doesn't even need to use that self.
In fact, he throws out... Oh, he doesn't get the last hit on the creep though. He threw out that torrent trying to get the range creep, but he did end up missing it there. So they decided to throw Draw Ranger up in the top lane instead against the Sand King, but immediately Final Triad rotates their heroes up there as well. Yeah. So they're not giving ILTW an inch.
Noltel coming back. Try and help out, but... he's kind of less effective against a Phantom Lancer. I mean, not right now, as Frost does not have a Doppelganger available, but later down the line, like when you're trying to catch people with the Ice Shot and the Snowball combo on top of the tag team, then Phantom Lancer should always be ready to get himself out. So I'm not sure that OG are really finding the lanes that they want to, but... something mid here, Final Tribe, looking for Thompson again. With that Ingswell, stunning up Thompson. Even though he's tanky, he's not that tanky. Chassis dropped low, and doesn't actually have any more regen, but I assume he has the courier flying out any moment.
He's gonna TP all the way back to base.
Okay, courier's
Doesn't
going
have
top
the money for
instead,
regen there. He's picked up boots though. Has some shoes to get back to lane quicker.
Yep.
But I think Thompson comes out ahead here.
Now looking at Noltail up top. He's trying to tackle somebody, but now he's Snowball with the self. Getting some extra health back. Joke's also hanging around, and Final Tribe did not want to go super aggressive on him. Frost actually missed out on a few last hits here and there because of this.
Yep. But this Draw Ranger's having an awful time. You only have 14 CS right now. You want to have probably double that at the moment.
Yeah. Certainly not the kind of free fun that ILTW had in that first game up against Helsinki Reds. Doing it super fast, incidentally, but still doing just as well as the Phantom Lancer, all things considered. But it's... I don't know, I can't really see them stabilizing these lanes. Not easily, anyway.
No. Not even Ducks here, or Seb here in the bottom lane is doing that great against the Sand King, even with his Doritos Chips Ion Shell. Take a look at this drag and drop.
Man.
It throws Dorito chips out onto them.
Is that what it looks like?
It's just the ultimate gamer shell.
Of course.
Well, yeah, you gotta
Pretty sure only Americans will understand that one.
You know what Doritos are?
Yeah.
But it's only Americans that have Cool Ranch and Sweet Chili Heat technology.
What? Chili Ranch Heat? What are you talking about?
No. Cool Ranch and Sweet Chili Heat.
Cool Ranch Heat, that's all I'm hearing there.
Sweet Chili Heat. You know what? You don't deserve our culture.
Sweet Chili Cool Ranch? Yeah, okay. I'm sure you make some sense to somebody as Jesse's looking for another toss.
Be a little bit careful here.
Yeah, with the Frost Shield on top of him, tossing him back under the tower. I don't think Thompson thought this one through. He's gonna drop again.
Yeah, picks up that tree to chunk him as he goes down there.
Hanskin gets slowed down by the stone.
It's a shame it's not a stun, huh?
Yeah.
It's pretty rough. You get more stun at level 1 now, I think. You get 0.8 second stun versus the 0.5 that you got before. Woo.
Oh yeah, 0.4 and extra 0.4 with the rock.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that part works out. But again, they haven't really been able to do anything with that. I mean, 6 minutes in, only kills in this game went all to the final tribe. The storm comes through for the Centaur. Frost with doppelganger available though. Actually turns to fight his Hanskin. Nice little pushback still. On the way again with the silence. ILTW. Making the
shit,
big
pushing away as
plays.
soon as that stun came out. That was huge.
Crazy.
Yeah, this guy's a god. We saw him with silence. What was it game number 1 in the last series?
Yeah.
Came up behind 3 heroes, silenced them all out, disabled them, and right there he saves his whole team with that silence, pushing him back.
Well, mostly saves himself. His teammates were home and host already because Jarek started with that push away. But,
He saved his team by saving himself.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
You can
He is
put it
the
like
team.
that, yeah. It's certainly gonna need him to perform as dumb bottom. Oh god, Zeb, look at him. This thing's so much damage.
Yep. I mean, one of the plus sides of dealing with Sand King now, if he managed to deny those creeps, he doesn't get the caustic finale damage, but Darkseer hasn't been doing that. Doing that is a little bit tricky, especially when the Sand King is 2 bracers and a Quelling Blade.
Yeah. And max Sandstorm, so you can spam that out.
Yep.
And again,
It's magic resistance.
Yeah, you don't want to stand around in the Sandstorm with or without Iron Shells. It's just not really in the cards for Zeb.
He's out damaging you now, even with 2 ion shells.
That's
A
part of the
combination of
reason
both cost
why we
Sandstorm.
yeah. Part of the reason why we see them switching lanes again. You know, trying to do his best, but just could be run down. Oh, is he? Yeah, I mean, he's just gonna die.
And they can't commit any resources to come and help No Tail out because they're having a hard enough time all over the map. I mean, Thompson has decided he doesn't really want to get that close to the mid lane.
Yeah.
In fact, he's pinging mid. He's saying, "Guys, help!"
Are you losing all 3 lanes right now?
They are.
More or less, I guess. I guess top lane is the most even, but Jarek's now missing that draw. Now being slowed down. This time the silence not gonna save them, so it's just dead anyway.
Yep. So 0 and 7 so far. OG against final trap. In this draw range, you're getting slowed.
As the gaze into follow-up silence, but there's a bit of extra slows with the Q, but there's a surge. Try and turn us around, but the damage is coming in from that Phantom, and now Avalanche coming in. Chassis looking for more here. Zeb is super freaking low and will die to another, what's it called? The Grim Stroke, the Stroke of Fate. I'm just gonna call it Grim Stroke. Because that seems...
The Grim Stroke.
The Grim Stroke, yeah, it seems appropriate, I
So
know.
there's Grim Stroke, and then there's the Grim Stroke, his ability. But that was a perfect rotation from Chessie, managing to secure that last kill there on the Darkseer as he tried to surge his ally away there, and it forced who was that back? Earth Spirit? Forced Earth Spirit back, so he wasn't able to turn around and get any kills there either.
No Tail almost died again. Jonas found eating his way through the creeps. Surge up from Zep. This Sand King, he's certainly feeling like a king right now. He has Vanguard. Like Iron Shell's down to a little bit, but I don't think he really cares. Still has a sense of
Really not that much though. Yeah. You got 37% magic resistance between being a strength hero, having those 2 bracers. You're regenerating 14 HP a second because of that Vanguard.
Yeah.
There's no cares here.
We get some help from Chessie and Hanskins. They want to find the silence of one Darkseer. Inkswell ready to go. Oh, nice little snowball. This is the dodging that we're talking about now. No Tail with the Avalanche still preventing him from really making use of this tag team. Zep.
Zep's got to be a little bit careful here because Sand King is sneaking around the back.
He's just trying to bait at this point with a burst strike in though. It's gonna take a lot of damage. Another Avalanche combo. The bot comes in, but it's too late to actually save them. Also allow them to re-engage. So the final tribe get yet another kill fed to them. On top of 3 bounty runes if Frost gets one on top.
So 3 bounty runes going their way. Everything's going their way right now. Then they're up 6k. That Darkseer dying there as well was another 422 gold swing their way.
I wonder if OG are maybe a bit stuck in that last series where they were so far ahead at this point already and they're not really adjusting. I mean, they're going in, trying to make these plays without really being ready on all the heroes, without respecting the damage output that the final tribe is capable of right now.
Radiant's bottom tower
I mean, I think they were banking on doing a little bit better in these lanes, but Earth Spirit just isn't that great of a hero in the lanes. It's been a long time since he's been a good hero
Factual
in the
this time,
lanes.
Burst Strike comes in, follow up into the Inkswell. So much control, so much damage for Zep. Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, sure they're buying time for Drow Ranger right now, but really it's not enough.
Well, it's
Because
got to be his
Phantom
level
Lance is
7,
farming
so
at the
maybe
same
want
time.
to start thinking about farming Ancients a little bit more safely, get whatever laning farm that there is over to the other heroes.
Mhm.
But, I don't know, for now, Final Tribe keeping the pressure up down bottom, so maybe his farm is continuous. I mean, as long as nobody's able to stop him, might as well stick around. Utilize that Sandstorm for all it's worth.
Mhm.
Thompson
God.
trying to run him down right now, but there's also help coming in.
You don't want to do this, Tom. It hasn't gone well a single time. What makes you think it's going to go well this time?
Silence just make sure that he doesn't even try.
Radiant's middle
Alright,
tower
he thinks,
is under
okay,
attack.
Sand King has no mana. This is the time to go for him, but Enzikin peeks up around the corner and then tops and starts to reconsider his choice already. You're supposed to be super tanky right now. This is a Kunko with 3 bracers. He's got 2200 HP,
Radiant's top tower is
and he's
under
getting
attack.
run down or chased down by this fucking Sand King, and
Dire's middle tower is under
I guess
attack.
just a bug getting thrown out on him by
Radiant's
the Grimstroke.
structures are fortified. Radiant's top
Well,
tower
there's the
is
smoke.
under attack.
Couple of wards here all over the Radiant jungle just to try and just keep themselves safe, but of course doesn't really help and everything's smoked out. Thompson's still taking enough to get a few spells off. So this time, unfortunate pause.
Is our Discord lagging?
No, I think we're good.
Alright. Probably just a Europe server. Are we on... We're on Europe, though.
Yep.
Alright.
Maybe it's
It's
not
just their
Discord, maybe it's
Discord
just
lane.
one of their players on
Mhm.
Discord, so who knows. Either way, there's a couple of heroes coming in. Era with the Chain Frost ready to go, so yeah, OG can't really fight this. Hotel, not sure about these shots. Snowball's down to Bucharest Circuit though. Still being slowed down, Jesse. He's pretty
He's
damn
not going
fast with the
anywhere.
face boots, with the blink as needed.
Radiant's
Since the
bottom
gaze is
tower
all the
is
control
under
that's
attack.
required. And yeah, they're just claiming control over this Radiant side jungle. Again, there's so many Radiant wards here, but it's still not theirs.
Yep.
They cannot enforce their presence.
Mhm.
Like
Alright, that's
if,
another thing that's gone horribly wrong this game. The Drow Ranger, right? This is your only ranged hero. Nobody's getting any benefit from this precision aura. And that's pretty...
Yeah, I mean, it's less impactful now. It's just been about the taxi, but you still want
Radiant's middle
someone
tower
that
is
can,
under attack.
just try and leverage that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Not in this game. They're farming up their ancient stacks. It's just adding insult to injury at this
Radiant
point.
are scanning.
Mhm. 7k ahead right now with 13 minutes. 0 and 13 right now for Final Tribe. Not a
Thompson gotta
single
try
death.
again.
Radiant's middle tower
Slowed
is
down
under
though by the
attack.
buck, and now he's on the run. Jonsson walking in. There's a Chain Frost, couple of creeps here to bounce between here. So he's taking so much damage before he can even get both off. Follow-up stun. A couple of right clicks here. Snowball across the Hanskin, trying to get the lowest on first. A nice little vacuum into the wall. And can even get one? They can get one, but at what cost? No Tail is dead on top of Thompson. Now Zeb controlled up further. They have to go through. No, they don't even have to. They have the Tops just ahead of it. It's a 3-4 exchange. Again, on their own side of the map. This is not supposed to happen.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah,
is
on their
under
own side of the map, in their own jungle that they have warded. So they know where the enemies are, and they're constantly taking these
Radiant's
engagements that
middle
they're
tower
losing.
has fallen.
That's another 700 gold going the way of the Final Tribe after that team fight.
At least they're on the board now, I guess. It was the first kill of the game after 14 minutes, but damn.
Maybe they needed that. They thought, okay
a
guys, we need to
confidence
show
kill, yeah.
that they can bleed.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is just what happens when you pick 2-4 positions, and none of them really have had any impact.
Mhm.
Neither Tusk nor the Earthsplit really as powerful as they would have needed them to. They have the Dust for Jonas-Fan, fast them out of the Sandstorm, so it's a pretty good play there with the boat coming through. 4 heroes, but Jonas-Fan is still not dead. I mean, he's channeling up a stun. It's gonna stun up 4 different people here. Nice little shard block though, preventing him from getting out. Follow-up silence. So it takes 5 heroes for OG to secure the kill after like 15 seconds of fighting, it feels like.
Raid boss down.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he popped that Crimson Guard. He has got 2 bracers. That guy took a while to take down though, but he was worth the 1,000 gold swing. Oh no. I spoke a little bit too soon. Things were starting to look up, but
I mean, we're just grasping at straws here, because this is not the kind of OG that we're used to seeing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's a bit
last
problematic.
series.
I mean, again, this is...
Dire's
Again, last series
structures
wasn't
are
really an
fortified.
indication. It was against Helsing Reds, who are... again, I hate bagging on them, so I just won't. But it's a bit of a different caliber compared to Final Drive, that's for sure. And it's really showing right now. The X actually bringing Chessie back.
doesn't do anything to him though.
No.
Just irks him. In fact, I think he's happy that he got brought back, because he went back, healed up a little bit, then came with a full bottle. He went to base there, right?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, my bad.
They did get fence plants up top.
Okay,
Not before the
they're getting a
refusal
couple
rate,
kills
so-
here and there now.
Yeah.
3 minutes ago they had nothing. Now they've brought down
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
the Sand King, the Phantom Lancer, and the
Dire's
Grimstroke.
top tower is under attack.
Getting Chessie would be amazing, but this tiny is way too big to be brought down.
So he might be getting them. The see Jarrett's coming in. Frost Shield's already up and running. Top of the silence, he's just walking across. I mean, he has Ace June. No one can really slow him down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And I don't know, he's thinking about what he wants to do and doesn't really have a chance to make up his mind. Jonas farm though goes in aggressively with the burst strike. I mean, all 5 of them are here. The cell fuels, both coming through, follow control, but there's no damage. And now the turnarounds are gone. It's double chain frost, Nev! Double chain frost on top of the Grimstroke. 1, 2, 3. Come on, a killing spree. Era's certainly happy about the way that one went down. And now the instant smoke afterwards. They want more blood. They don't just want towers, they want heroes.
They're going on this Jarring, but LGW realizes they're up to something. If they're not pushing the tower right now, then they're after him. So he's getting the hell out of there as quickly as possible.
TP right
but I'm
now.
not sure
Oh
he's
God,
going to
no,
make it in
it's
time. Oh no.
Nice silence actually, but...
He's going to make it!
Never mind, okay. Guess that worked out.
Radiant's top tower
Oh my god, he just got away with murder right there.
are fortified.
Well, it didn't actually kill anybody, so it's not really murder, is it? Gotta get your terminology right there, Nev.
Yeah,
You
whatever.
can't just say murder when there's no murder. That's slander, that's what that is.
He got away from
Radiant's
murder.
top tower
Yeah,
is
okay,
under
that's
attack.
better.
Radiant structures
Only one more kill for Final Tribe, and then they can call GG on the other side, I guess. They're looking
Mhm.
for the 3-2 verdict.
Yep.
It's a verdict, not a result, if we want to stick with the court metaphors. Anyway. Chessie. Let's put it down. Farmed, Blink, Echo Saber, level 13. How do you stop Final Tribe at this point? You have a bit of control from the Kunkka, but you
No.
just don't have the damage output. Certainly not a big concern.
No.
Fun.
That's my answer to you.
Alright, dodging the burst strike. Zep is playing Ring Around Rosie, still silenced up. The Yules, I'm not sure about this one, but Snowball keeps them in here. Jugs from the side, a lot of damage being done to Era, but he's being healed up now and again. Double Chain Frost! The combo with Hanskin. So much magic damage flying in, and this time it might be more than 3 because LTW, he was part of that party. He is down. Grimstroke will be betrayed, but Thompson completely out of mana, out of health points any second. It's a full 5-man wipe. Final Tribe. Well,
These double chain frost, they're so good, and they can't separate each other until one of them dies.
yeah.
You have to kind of accept that, okay, they're going to be lassoed right to each other because of how Soulbind works. 2 chain frosts come out, they bounce between you and the rest of your team, and oh my god, is it ever a disaster for OG.
So much stuff flying about. Meanwhile, they're all being protected by this Crimson Guard. Like this, nothing that OG have that can even break through their defenses, or even can even begin to try and break through their defenses.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's nothing to it. You just gotta keep trying. There's a smoke. So they do see the sandstorm here. Jonas Farm just farming their own ancients again. They connect with the silence, with the slow. The self-fuels, Frost Shield will make things a little bit harder. Still has Crimson Guard if he can get a chance to pop it. This is so much time. No one's actually walking in to help him, but doesn't need any
Is he
help.
gonna
His
get
burst
away?
strike across. They have to dust at the ready. Could have fought this, I guess, but if they all
Too
start
many
to walk
Doritos
in,
for him to
it's-
handle.
Still took them like 10-15 seconds once again
Mhm.
to kill the freaking Sand King.
Hey,
If they can also kill Roche on the back of that, that'd be good.
yeah. They're not going to get away with this stuff. Grimstroke using the Grimstroke on them.
Sounds on an Earth Spirit here, so this is space created. Jax throws himself at them, gets the attention of 3 different heroes to make sure that they cannot interfere with the Roche. So it's actually, somehow they're able to get away with that one.
Yeah, 400 gold swing for the Jerax dying there. However, 150 gold to each person for getting Roshan, extra gold for the bounty on Roshan and having the Aegis, so
Radiant's bottom
worth
tower
it.
is under attack.
Jerax realizing that his life is not worth as much as the Roshan right there, so buying them a little bit of time can be worth it sometimes. Even though it looks kind of silly diving straight into the enemies like that. Thinking, okay, Jerax, what are you doing? But he's actually a god who's buying time for his team.
Big question is now, do Final Tribe care about the Aegis? I mean, of course it would be nice to have that themselves, but I don't think they really minded being on OG at this point.
No, I don't think that they care about the Aegis either. It does stop them from getting it, though. So that's one less thing that they can have when they're trying to breach high ground.
Ooh. 1, 2, 3 together. Chessie just waiting for a way in. Smoke will expire. And yeah, he reveals himself on a high ground
Radiant's
ward here.
bottom
So
tower
this
is under
this
attack.
jig is up. OG should be able to stay safe for a little while longer.
Yeah, and they actually circle the top tower, so that's what they're going to go for now. I think they realize, okay, the enemies are pretty deep into our territory, so let's go top, let's try and take tier 1, we'll get a little bit of map control, we'll get a little bit of gold, work towards our next item, so just try and stay in this. It's not looking great, but they're still doing their best here.
It's pretty much safer
Yeah,
than
that's
their own
exactly what
jungle
they
at
do.
this point. I mean, if you look at the vision for the Dire, like, they have this much of the map control, more or less.
Dire's middle tower
So
is
that's a
under
good,
attack.
what is it, like 1/4?
Yeah. 1/4
You're
left
doing
for OG
good.
to work with. Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, okay, this could
There
be
we
something
go.
though. Yunusfarm teeping in
Dire's
is
top tower is
actually
under
starts
attack.
fighting up against Tusk, who's left to his own devices. The rest of his team getting out. Nice little snowball off to the creep. The Yules will set up for another burst strike in a couple of seconds.
It's a very dead no-tail. Price you pay for buying a little bit of time. I'd say it's worth it, but
Teeping to
Draw
the
Ranger
other
about to die
side.
here.
What is this? I mean, Chessie gets a free kill. That's the Aegis down. Maybe it was a bait. Zed trying to walk in. They have the axe back into boat. Onto Tiny. Chessie down half health. Just trying to TP out. That's never going to happen.
Oh my god, they just got a godlike spree for an Aegis. I'll take that trade any day of the week. OG
Absolutely.
are geniuses.
So much
Couldn't-
money there for LTW. All of a sudden, he's actually in reach of the top 3, which are all
Are
still
you really
belong
going to
to
get
Final
anything
Tribe.
better than that?
Well, something
Draw
gonna try. They're
Ranger?
drawing a line.
No. But are you gonna get a better trade for your
Oh, yeah,
Aegis
no,
there? I
absolutely
mean,
not.
if you die on Draw Ranger, you're just caught out of position or something like that. They traded the Draw Ranger's Aegis for a godlike spree.
I mean, there's no way that wasn't considered, right? I mean, there's no way he'd TP in there and expect to not be gone on, even when you see 2 heroes up top.
That's the 400 IQ play.
It is the roll. Actually connects on Hanskin. Just gets 3-shot almost. That's
Down
another
he
one.
goes, and they're taking a little bit more control of this map now. They do have to be careful though. Tiny is back up now, so
I gotta say though, if OG managed to turn this around in the end, then this game would be an example on an
then
exemplar
you'll cut
of,
off your
hey,
hand.
what? Maybe not that crazy. What I was gonna say is that this would be an example, or an example of the difference between a good team and a great team. A good team gets ahead early in lanes and then wins the game without really taking too many risks. A great team can screw up the lanes
Loses the lanes.
so freaking hard, like they had nothing going for them after 10-15 minutes, even after 20 minutes arguably, and then they can still find a way to play it, still find a way to get things done. You know, it's very resource intensive, and once again, Task running into 3 different people, but this is still information.
Space
right?
created.
Yeah. You know where three of the people are, and at this point they're not getting many more objectives off of this. Lane's actually quite in OG's favor right now.
Are scanning.
And it's crazy to believe that just moments ago you agreed to cut off your hand if OG wins this.
I did not say that. What?
Dire are scanning.
Putting
heard
words
it
in my
here.
mouth.
You heard it here first, folks. Dragondrop will cut off his hand. OG
No!
wins.
It's not gonna happen. What the hell? They still have a lot going for them on Final Tribe. Like these team fights, I don't think there's a way for OG to really take them 5-on-5 very easily going forward, unless they get some BKBs ready to go. But Jarex is actually gonna live here. Rolls off to the side. Meanwhile, there's another fight breaking out as Thompson takes a lot of damage. Does go down in the end. It's much more important hero, but oh, the toss back here. Snowball coming through. No tail. Focus on. Brought down, but vacuum wall. Turning this around. They're just turning Final Tribe's strength against them. So Jesse goes down in exchange with buyback Thompson, though. They want more. There it is. Bit of a combo. Another double ultimate.
Oh, no.
The Chain Frost. Gonna start to bounce through. Not too much though. LTW actually tanking the last bit of it. Now another boat combo over on Lich. Can they find more? Still feel like they need to here with these buybacks committed, but they're all kind of low on mana and health. So they have to retreat.
Right, they bought back on just tops in there though. They got Chessie, so they managed to hold them off. They didn't do any damage to that tier 3 there. So I'd say all in all that fight's not so bad if you don't lose Thompson again the next 8 minutes while his buybacks on cooldown. Did decent defense there.
It's kind of crazy how not more of them died. I mean, there was 4k damage done from OG and 11k from Final Tribe. It's still like, what, 2-for-1 trade overall? Yeah, that's the one thing that we haven't really talked much about, but the stars here and the wall. It kind of scales with your enemies, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. The better your enemies are doing, the better the wall is. Sure, making illusions of certain heroes is a lot better. Somebody like Luna creating a wall illusion of that hero can absolutely destroy a team. You actually end up giving the Lunar Blessing buff to your team, all those extra stats and whatnot now if you create illusions of that Luna.
Yeah.
So
this game it's defense plans as well though. Can also be super handy. You can get your own illusion army going. Which can be hard to deal with in the middle of these fights.
Yep. Yeah, the illusions actually end up being stronger once you have an Aghanim Scepter, but I don't think he's going to be over that this game. He wants his Crimson Guard.
CU was perfectly timed actually to interrupt the axe. There's still boat coming. Jerk's trying to fight this, but there's another combo. Hanskin with the double silence, double burst strike as well. Gonna find one, they're gonna find two. Jarex, you just try to help, but now he's just helping the Final Tribe. And maybe with this opening, they can actually nip this one in the bud for at least one set of Raxes here. No Kunkka for 80 seconds.
He's down for an extra 25 seconds to do that buyback that he just did. They're going to pay for this one with the Rax, if not more.
Vacuum all ready to go. Zap without a Blink Dagger. He's going to have to, okay, he's just walking in. Vacuum, only on one, the wall kind of in the middle. Not really what you want, but still kind of walking into it, so... Not sure if that's enough though. No Tail just being focused down. L2W already died after Jesse's blinking. It's a 3-on-5 situation right now. It's not exactly what you want.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
Zap, no more vacuum for another 10 seconds. The cooldown is still ridiculous long. Big Liv will try and delay this as much as they can. Joke's back in the mix now.
Yep, Thompson is down for another 35 seconds though. They're not going to be able to defend this Rax. They might even lose a second tier 3. I'm not sure they can take another set of Rax before Thompson's up though, but they're going to try and bring down the team as much as they can, take advantage of that black buyback on the Kunkka.
Well, if OG was going to make it back into this, it would require perfect execution, perfect gameplay, and Thompson going down in his mid lane. No real support. Was certainly not part of that. It's so fun. Actually gets tossed back, or tried to anyway. The vacuum keeping them in. Couple of punches being thrown, but Tiny, he's so freaking strong and so freaking tanky right now. All these illusions keeping Zep away. The epicenter, not sure what that one is about. Just to try and cover the retreat, I guess. But they got so much here from Final Tribe. 2 full melee racks.
Didn't take 2 sets of racks, so I wasn't technically wrong there.
Not 2 sets, no, just 2 melees. I mean, range right still standing in mid even with 36 health points, so that's something.
Yeah, that thing's in it going down the creeps though.
Yeah. And still, I mean, if you look at this net worth advantage, is that after all is said and done, after the dust has settled in the Radiant base, it's 25,000 golds 30 minutes in, which is pretty dangerously close to this 1k gold per minute advantage mark. And yeah, this OG is still playing though. They still not completely out, but it's Dota Plus says. Oh, actually, never mind. Dota Plus says 100%, so never mind.
Really?
We'll call GG. Yeah. Now run to Roche Pit. Big Cat's gonna respawn in 30 seconds. Might see a fight breaking out before, and then Zep has a vacuum wall ready to go. They find the stance onto Era, follow-up stomp there with the centaur that they picked up. He's just keeping himself alive with the Frost Shield as much as they can. On the Burst Strike draws. Jesse taking over. Frost in the back, just cleaning house there. LTW's dead already. Zep trying to run away. The Yules will slow him down. Purge off the Surge. It's 1, 2, 3 down. Frost. Okay, cannot not prevent the TP from Motown, but they're gonna call it GG. And, well, final tribe. Win game number 1 up against the TI winners.
Pretty hard game for OG, but they did kick and scream as they went down there.
Yeah.
Gave Final Tribe a couple of scares, but Final Tribe showing, okay, if you're going to lose the lanes to us that badly, we're just going to dominate the entire game.
Yeah.
So having a huge advantage the entire game, not ever giving it up. Sure, OG managed to do a couple cheeky plays.
Yeah. It was impressive that they could do as much as they did, but ultimately it was just too little. And yeah, it was too late.
Not enough Doritos.
Exactly, right. Alright, 8 to 39, so even the kill score just looks really, really bad. But hey, this was only game 1. OG still have a chance to tie up the series here if they collect themselves. Maybe get a bit of a different draft, a little bit more traditional perhaps. More lane focus in game number 2. We'll find out soon. Stay tuned.